Alright, welcome back to the way I did it. Here I have my M&P-15. I did an earlier video on the Pinty scope. So what I'm going to do now is, I have the regular bracket here. This is the bracket that comes with the rifle. Alright, I turned the light on so that I better show you this. That's the bracket I'm going to replace. That right there. And what I want to do is put a dual single point sling bracket right here to be able to carry this with a single point sling. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to take out the magazine. It does have ammo in it. Take out the magazine, and I'm going to go ahead and clear any rounds, but we'll go ahead and do that. I don't know if I can do it one-handed. No rounds in there. So first thing you want to do is be safe. Alright, so this is what I'm going to do. Pick this up at Academy Sports. There it is. Costs $10. I figure for $10, how wrong can you go? This is what it looks like. So it has a ring for putting the sling on the left or right. Alright, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is pull the pins, just so it's not so cumbersome to work with. Separate the upper and lower. Oh, there we go. Got it that time. That one. Push both of those out. Pull that one out of the hinge. There. That will separate that upper from the lower. I'll just go ahead and put the pins back in. See if I can point at this for you. There's the buffer detent pin right here. Let's see if I can focus in on that right there. Okay, there it is. That's holding that buffer in. This buffer and the buffer spring go all the way back in this stock right here. So if you unscrew this and you're not aware that this is in there, then there's a good chance your stock's going to go zing. So best thing to do is probably take that out from this side. So I'm going to get that buffer out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push this pin down, push that buffer in a little bit, take that pin down, let that buffer slide out. There you go. Comes right out. There it is, your buffer and your buffer spring. So we'll set that to the side. So take your AR wrench, loosen this. It's already loose. All right, while you're loosening this takedown spring, this takedown pin spring that's under here, you don't want to lose it when you loosen this. This bracket will get pushed back by it. So the further back this goes, the further back your bracket goes, that spring will come out even further until it stops. Once you have this back, work this bracket back right here so it's clear of the spring. Then unscrew this, because as you unscrew your stock, this bracket right here is going to go round and round because it's keyed in here. So see if I can prop this up right here. I'll take this. See, as I'm going back, what I'm talking about there is the bracket hits the spring as you unscrew it. Got the nuts all the way back. Got this bracket back and it's free of that spring. We're going to unscrew the stock from the lower. All right, before we do that, then what we will need to be aware of, this is, I want you to be aware of this, so I'll turn on the light so you can see it. The stock is sitting, let me get this into place where we can focus in on it. There we go. The stock is sitting on the shoulder of this thing. Keeps it from going up too far. Once you back this out, there's a spring under this. Spring loaded, see? If you back this out and you're not holding this, this is going straight up, or wherever you happen to have it aimed. So as you back this out, keep a finger on this, keep it from launching into space, and you don't have to go searching for the spring, because if you're on carpet, that's going to suck. All right, so we're going to do that. Let me see if I can prop this where we can watch this. So we keep a finger on it. Keep a finger on this. I don't want to tear this spring up, so be careful. So as you unscrew it, I'm making sure I don't. See, I'm gonna let my thumb up. Now there's that pin. I set it right there with my bracket. And there's that spring. So you didn't let those go flying. That's good news. This doesn't fall out that easy, but keep an eye on it. Make sure you don't lose it. So we'll spin this around until it's out. Okay, there it is, it's loose. I'm going to set the lower down right there. I'm going to show you this about this bracket that I've got. See how this bracket has this little raised portion right here? This bracket does not have that. But there is a hole right there. There's a piece that came with my bracket. This piece. So this piece will go into that hole, and this part will sit in there, and it'll offer to lock it in place, just like this does. What this does is this goes in that hole and locks it in place. You screw it down so this keeps your stock from spinning or while it's this bracket's pushed forward. Alright, so what we do, we're going to take this off. Take it off. I'll show you where that one has that key on the bottom. And then the stock has this, I don't know the mechanical name for that, but this little path where your bracket, which is reversible if necessary. So slide that on. Right, we're going to take this little pin, this little piece that came with it. I'll put it in that hole right there. I'll show that to you. Stick it in that hole just like that right there. And once we get the stock screwed in, and we've got it screwed back up on top of the buffer detent pin to hold it down, we'll push the bracket forward and lock it in. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this tilted so that my spring is up some. And I'm going to start my stock into my lower. And I'm going to tell you two things I'm looking for, or two things I'm watching. I don't want that bracket to hit that spring, so I'm keeping that bracket back as I screw it in as best I can. The other thing I'm watching is, this is the hole where that buffer detent goes. I'm going until this stock, it's not too far away from it, to the stock, is right up to the edge of that hole. And then I'll put the spring and the pin in and then hold it down and screw the stock over top of it. So that's what I'm doing. And as you can see, I'm right up to the hole right there. Let me show you. Right up to the hole. So what I'm going to do is if I can show this to you, I'm going to drop my spring in there. Sorry about my knee. It's the only way I can hold this. Filming off my tablet this time, not my phone. Got the spring in there. Or maybe just a little bit too far forward. And back up just a little bit. Yep. So I got my pin in there and I'm holding my pin down. Holding it down, I'm going to screw forward. And you can see here, my tube is up on it. My stock is up on it. My stock tube. So I'm going to come around here, watching my spring at the same time, until it lines up. Then what I'm going to do is show you where I'm at. Right here. I'm all the way up on it where it's almost touching it. Now you've got to stop. You've got to stop when your stock is in at the bottom. So I'm over top of it. Now what I'm going to do is we'll push this bracket. Oh, sorry. We'll push this bracket and lock it onto the little piece I inserted. That's going to push that little spring in as well at the same time. I'm going to try to push it as evenly as possible. When you get up on it, this gap should not exist. Right, so there, I got it pushed up on it. I'm trying to hold it from keeping it coming off, letting off a little bit to show you. So once you do that, screw your nut down, use your AR tool, get that nice and tight. What that does is that'll keep you stock from turning. This is a telescoping stock, so there's a little play, but you can see right there, no play. That holds that in there. There's my old bracket. If you need one, I'll sell it to you for $5. Okay, so here's what you want to do. Now we want to put the buffer spring and the buffer back in. Start with this, slide it in. Once you get so far, see if I can show you that. Okay, slide it in. Once you get so far, I use my screwdriver. I'll reach it up in there. I'll press the detent down and let the buffer get up in there like that. Then let it back out. And there you go. Buffer spring retained by the buffer detent retained by the stock tube. If you can see that. I got my light on trying to show you some things that's kind of hard to see without it, but it makes some things hard to see with it. So now we want to make the upper and lower again. Pull our takedown tubes out. And let me show you this right here. That spring that is right in there is for this tube right here. Keeps it in place. Hold it. So what we want to do is we want to attach my front takedown pin. We'll try to get it in the right spot. Push it in right there. Then the charging handles that were not charged, and don't take it apart with it charged. Make this good practice not to. Put the pin back in. Now the pin's back in. This pin's back in. We're mated. We have no ammo. We haven't put any one of the rounds. So what we're going to do is, now that it's back together, We'll flip it over. We'll perform a function test. So what we want, I'm in fire. Trigger won't pull because it's not charged. So what I'm going to do is charge it, put it in safe, pull the trigger. Nothing should happen. That's what we want. So now we'll put it in fire. I'm going to pull the trigger, and when we pull it, we're going to hold it back. We'll see if it fires. Fires. Okay, now I'm going to hold the trigger back. See, I'm still holding the trigger back, so I'm going to have to set you down a second because I need to recharge it. All right, I just recharged it while I'm holding it down. Now I'm going to let the trigger go. You should hear a click. Heard that? You should hear that. Now we'll pull the trigger again. It should fire. All right, fired. So that's a function check. Make sure everything's okay. So we should be good. All right. So there you go. Easy squeezy. That is adding a single point sling bracket to my M&P-15, and it's dual, so I can do it on the left or right. All right, have a great day. I'm not showing you how to use the sling because that's a personal preference, and so what I prefer someone else won't, so there's no use in wasting your time. All right, guys, I hope that helped. Help me out. Hit a like. You can also hit subscribe. It's free, and if you subscribe, turn off notifications. You don't want to know if I've made something new. You just want to know if there's something on there that you can use. So subscribe and turn off notifications. But hit likes. Your likes help me with the algorithm that YouTube has or Google has. So that's that. Let me know if you have any questions or comments.